Welcome back to the Janky News Update, the show where I, your host Janky, brings you all the latest gaming news, controversies, and releases from the past week. Today is Monday, November the 3rd, and this week we have a stacked docket for you. We've got angry Halo developers, we've got Nintendo being Nintendo, and we have a surprising amount of discourse about paint. So without any further ado, mute your squad chat, grab a snack, and let's jump right into it. This week the Halo community found itself split. Shocker, right? After two of the Halo Combat Evolved devs from the original game came out with their opinions on the new remake. First up, Jamie Griesmer, who did level design for Halo Combat Evolved, came out and voiced his, we'll call it, constructive disappointment in the game. He complained about the remake's level design during the Silent Cartographer mission that we saw in the trailer, and he said, and I'll quote, "I intentionally placed rocks in the way so you had to fight the hunters on foot. When you can just smash the crates out of the way, it wrecks the encounter." Now look, two things. First of all, you could always take your Warthog anywhere you want in that game. It wasn't very hard. I know it wasn't intentional, but if a game that's being remade wants to take something that you could do in the original game and make it an actual gameplay feature, I don't see any problem with that. And second of all, taking to Twitter after a 13-minute gameplay trailer just feels a bit premature. Like, at least wait until we get more information or the game is out before you go all like, back in my day, you know what I mean? And I get it, right? Like, when you've designed one of the most iconic missions in FPS history, you don't want someone rearranging your rocks. You know, I do get it. But it's also kind of like watching a kid put a toy down and then throw a fit when another kid wants to play with that toy. Like, you had your moment. It was great. People loved it. But let's give a chance for the next generation of developers to take it from here, you know? That being said, he's not wrong, right? Like, his work defined what Halo is today. But when people still adore your game and your version and people are still playing it, just let someone else take the reins and try to do something different with it or try to innovate it in a more modern way. If the remake flops, then your game looks better, and if it doesn't and it's great, then you helped inspire it. It's really just a win-win. On the other side of the spectrum, however, we had Marcus Leto, who worked on Halo 1, 2, and 3, and I think what he said was kind of a little clapback at what Jamie was saying in his tweet. Marcus said, "I absolutely love where this is going. The game looks and feels genuine. It's gorgeous in a way I wish we could have built in 2001. It warms my heart to see Halo CE like this." And that's wholesome, right? Like, that's what you want to see. He's basically saying, I did something great, and now you're making it look even better. He understands that Halo is something that's bigger than any one developer. When your work gets remade a quarter of a century later, it's not a threat at all. It's a legacy that you've built, and you should be very proud of that. So, moral of the story, one developer is yelling at rocks, and the other one's just happy to be there. And Halo fans are arguing in the comments like it's 2007 again. It's good times, right? Alright, next up, Nintendo had a patent rejected for the catching characters mechanic in like Pokemon games. And this was kind of directed at Palworld, as you may have seen over the past, feels like 10 years, but it's really just been like 2 years. Their patent was rejected for lacking creativity, which I think is great. That's awesome. That's kind of what we all wanted to see, I think. But yeah, thankfully the patent office just took one look at it and said, Nintendo, you silly little company. You can't copyright fun. You can't patent a game genre, you silly little boy. Now look, I love Nintendo. Some of my favorite childhood games, as with a lot of people, are from Nintendo. Pokemon, Zelda, Metroid, like, great games, right? But trying to lock down a core gameplay mechanic would be like someone trying to say that, oh no, only we can do shooting games. Or we invented jumping so no one else can jump in their games. Like, Mario wasn't the first platformer, but it did it very well, and now a lot of people want to copy it. You can't copyright a mechanic that pretty much makes a genre, right? Or at least makes the genre evolve. This is the kind of thing that hurts innovation. Like, I'm sure you guys remember the Nemesis system from Shadow of Mordor. It was genius, right? Like, unique enemy personalities and dynamic combat, you know, the rivalry there. But then Warner Brothers just copyrighted it, and no one's been able to use it since. And that's so sad. I mean, like, this is a thing that we should have in, like, every game, right? It was genius. And people just don't use it because they're scared of infringing on the copyright. It's horrible for games, in my opinion. If Nintendo did get away with this, it could have opened the floodgates for every major publisher to just copyright all their ideas, and we would have no more innovation in games, because it would just be everyone doing their own thing, and you can't take from other games because it's infringement, and it would just lead to a horrible cycle where we're all just playing press A to license simulators or something like that. So yeah, this rejection is a massive win for creativity, and hopefully sends a message that you can't own a game genre. So I would like to see more of this in the future. I wish that the patent for the Nemesis system didn't go through, but hopefully it ends soon and we can all get back to having fun beating up people and having them come back with an extra limb or something, you know what I mean? All right, next we need to change the mood a bit. We need to talk about something really, really serious in gaming. Something that, for the better of society and life as a whole, just needs to have some light shed on it. It's the yellow paint. Yeah. No, I'm joking. It's really not that serious. It's quite funny, actually. It's, you know, the yellow paint in games where, more linear games where you'll see the yellow ladder or the yellow ledge, and that means you're supposed to go there, right? It's pretty much like saying, hey, idiot, it's not that way. It's this way. Anyways, the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth director, Naoki Hamaguchi, came out and said, I think as a game, there's definitely a need for that kind of thing in a lot of ways. It's truly necessary. Translation, you people get lost too easily. And honestly, he's not wrong, but I do always like a game that guides you through, you know, subtle lighting or storytelling rather than like a big sign that says, over here, you know? I do like that better. But at the same time, I'm not going to sit here and argue about it on Twitter or Reddit. Like, it's not that serious. It's just funny. It's become this genuine philosophical debate in game design. And there's like Reddit threads and essays and videos, and it's all just about paint. And then Hamaguchi's over here like, man, I just wanted to show you guys where you're going so you don't get lost. But yeah, maybe we should just chill on the paint discourse. If you're really that upset about a yellow line on your map, maybe just go outside and, I don't know, stare at a traffic cone for therapy. All right, the next one is pure gold. An indie Japanese game called Crazy Hyper Dungeon Chronicles accidentally became a viral hit due to a bad translation. When localizing their title from Japanese to English, the devs used the word kuso danjon, which in context would mean something like awkward or weird dungeon. But when literally translated, it translated in English to shitty dungeon. And someone on Steam noticed this and thought it was hilarious, so they tweeted about it, and everyone else on Twitter did what they do best and turned it into a meme. And this game blew up, like, especially in Japan. You had so many people wishlisting it, it had lots of downloads, way more than they expected, and the devs were shocked, but pleasantly surprised, of course. But the best part about all of this is the game's actually really good, and a lot of people found this game and they really enjoy it, which is just an amazing end to this hilarious story. The game's sitting at very positive on Steam, and that's amazing. It kind of just goes to show how you don't need AAA money to brand your game or publish your game if your name is just accidentally hilarious. Bad translations in games are always so funny to me. You know, from all your bases are belong to us to like you were almost a Jill sandwich. It's always so fun. I love it. And yeah, this was just kind of a little heartwarming end to a very funny mistake, and I love this story. All right, let's wrap up this week's news with the latest releases, and it was a big one, especially if you're a multiplayer fan. We had Battlefield RedSec, and I haven't had time to dive in yet, trying to keep my mental health stable, you know, but the reviews are out and they're not good. They are not good at all. From what I've heard from people who have a life outside of Battlefield or enjoy other games as well as Battlefield, this game's actually quite good. It's a tidy battle royale, Doesn't innovate much on anything, but if you want that Battlefield feel in a really good battle royale, this is exactly what you got here. It's tidy, it's clean, it plays well, and it has good sounds and destruction and all the things that you like. The controversy comes more from the hardcore Battlefield crowd, you know, the ones who will complain about everything. But what they have here is actually, it kind of makes sense. They're saying that you need to play this battle royale to complete challenges from the multiplayer side of it. So if you only want to play multiplayer, you now have to play battle royale to complete all the challenges, which is frustrating, right? Like, you bought the game for the multiplayer and now you're being forced to play a game mode that you don't really want to play. I get it. The other side of the controversy is a lot of people are saying that this Battle Royale's map is way bigger and way more detailed than what they have in the multiplayer, and they think that EA might try to shift focus to this Battle Royale mode rather than just keep on focusing on the multiplayer that people really like. And yeah, that makes sense, right? Like, you don't want to buy a, what was it, $70 game just for it to lose interest from the developers in like a month. I don't think it's going to go there, but I think people are rightfully concerned. And as much as I understand these people's concerns, I think that Battlefield players are just funny. I think they get mad at everything, and it's always endlessly entertaining to watch them go crazy about just the littlest things, like patch notes. You know, you'll have riots in the streets and bug fixes, just outrage. I think it's hilarious, and I'm sorry to any Battlefield fans who I'm making fun of. I'm sure I'll see you in the comments. You know, do what you do best, but yeah, I just think it's funny. Next up is Arc Raiders, another multiplayer live service, but surprisingly, this one's actually good, seemingly. It's made by the same team as the finals, and reviews are looking quite positive. It's stylish, you know, it's got an addicting looking gameplay loop, and it doesn't feel like a soulless cash grab completely, which in terms of live service games is kind of an anomaly. It's a very low bar right now, but it actually looks quite good. Lots of players, however, are experiencing long queues to get into the games. The servers don't really seem up to the amount of players who want to get in, but assuming they fix this issue pretty quickly and it doesn't hurt their image too bad, I think this could be a genuine classic multiplayer game. I haven't tried it yet, and I know you guys are probably thinking, does this guy even play games? I do. I'm not a big multiplayer guy. I've been having a lot of fun with the newest single player games that have been coming out. You know, I'm just finishing up Ninja Gaiden 4. I just downloaded Outer Worlds 2. I'm going to start that after this video. But yeah, Arc Raiders, it might even be something that I'll get into. I might dust off the old headset and get back on a multiplayer game. Probably haven't played a multiplayer game consistently since like 2019, like Modern Warfare 2019, which is crazy. I need more friends. But yeah, this one looks all right, and if it keeps up, then maybe we'll have a live service game that isn't utterly disappointing. And anyways, that is the janky news update for this week. We had angry Halo dads, we had Nintendo trying to copyright fun, and philosophical paint debates. So if you enjoyed this, like and comment with your favorite gaming news story from this week. As always, stay tuned for the latest gaming news, controversies, and discussions. My name is Janky, and I will catch you in the next one.